constructive criticism, deconstructive criticism. One thing I'm learning about myself is that with thinking, it has some main values, and I'm going to give you three of them for a minute. It gives you perspective within context. It gives you perspective within context. Excuse me. It gives you perspective within context. When you think, it also allows you to continually connect with my journey. Okay. And lastly, it provides counsel and direction concerning your future. Let me get that to you again. When you are thinking, you want to write this down. When you are thinking, it gives you perspective within context. Number two, it allows you to continuously connect with your journey. And number three, it makes sure that it provides the counsel and the direction concerning your future. These are the few things that can help you learn and improve your way of life, your way of thinking, and your way of how you spirit some things. I'm telling you, as sure as I'm standing or sitting down right now, the Lord is going to deal with you concerning recording and review. The difficulty lies not so much in, hear me, not so much in your developing new ideas, but hear me, it's really from escaping your old ones. Popular thinking, if you're not careful, it will mess up your cholesterol level. Amen. Because hear me, if you're thinking the wrong thing, I'm telling you, you're going to mess yourself up in a bad place, and you don't want to be in a bad way. So as I conclude, I want to give you this. I'm not an answering machine. I'm a questioning machine. Did y'all hear what I just said? I'm not an answering machine. I'm a questioning machine in this season. Because if all we have is the answers, how come we're in such a mess? Did y'all hear what I just said? I want you to write that down. I'm not an answering machine. I'm a questioning machine. Because if I had all the answers, why am I still such a mess? Your thinking have often proved to be wrong when you limit God and then limit your mind. The question isn't so much really necessarily hard once you cultivate the habit of doing it. So here's where I'm going to close. The musician is now playing an E flat. There won't be a hoop and a holler. He's playing soft music now, so I can get ready to let you go. If you don't hear nothing else today, I want you to hear this. Think before you follow. Think before you follow. Many individuals right now, think before you follow. Many individuals follow others because they just like to follow the new thing. And right now, there's a lot of people who just following the next big thing. You know, the Lord told you to be planted here, but now your season is automatically up due to your indiscretions of immaturity. And sometimes they have the desire to take a path that's of less resistance. I've never seen people like free in all the days of my life. Now I want y'all to hear what I just said. It's okay to get some blessings, but I don't want everything in my life just to be given to me. I go to school, I invest in it. Because I'm going to tell you something. It's going to cost you a little. It's going to cost you a lot. Either way, it's going to cost you. Some people use free as a precursor to get you in the way they want you in, to then later bring this big thing that you didn't expect, and then your heart is broken. Then you talk about you hate ministry and all those different things. But I realized something. If you want a phone, you got to invest in it. I have a Samsung 8 Plus. I got a Note 8. I got an iPhone 8 Plus. I didn't buy the X until the X Plus come out. I like pluses. I don't like small phones. I got an iPad 10.5. I got, you name it. You name it, I just about probably got it. And I'm not saying it to be arrogant. I'm saying it to prove this point. But anything that I got, I invested in it. I can't recall the last time somebody called me and said, I'm going to give you this for free. Never had it. You know why? And maybe people just think I'm balling like that. I'm not balling like that. But I've learned that if I want something, I learn how to spend money for it. You know why? Because I'm going to value it. There's a TV right now in my living room. That TV, I think I've had that TV since I'll say that TV is about 27 years old. And guess what? TV still works. One of the first flow model high definition screens that came out. And watch this here. When you invest good money into stuff, it lasts. Some of you right now listening to me, if you're over 45, you know about Zeniths. Amen. I know I'm talking here. Amen. Zenith TV. Y'all remember them Zenith TVs? Amen. RCA. Amen. Sony. Y'all ain't saying nothing. They if you got a TV, it still works. I guarantee you. But now some of us right now, we'll get something quick, fast, and in a hurry. And watch this here. TV go out. Magnavox. You talking. Old school. The new TVs now are LG. Amen. The new TVs now are LG. You got to have it. Samsung. And it's still rocking. Watch what I'm telling you. The name had a value that stood for something. A lot of people today, they water down what it is that they have because they have less resistance to want to pay the price. Well, I'll just get this, not realizing you didn't buy the warranty. It's very difficult now for you to buy anything without a warranty. Are y'all listening to me? Are y'all hearing me? And hear me. And if you don't buy the warranty, it's going to jack up. I'm telling you, it was about to be a world of confusion in my house. I just finished my mother-in-law. We went and bought these printers. They like $300-something printers. Amen. And we got them on sale. I had 14 days to get the warranty. And on the 14th day, I got the receipt. I said, I got to make sure I make this happen. Because I'm not going to make an investment in something that I'm not going to be able to continue to carry. Money don't grow on trees. Y'all ain't saying nothing. And some of our resistance are low, but because of the rejection that we have, we'll follow up behind anybody because we feel like the previous predecessor didn't like us. There has to be a wisdom in you knowing what you're actually following. I'm learning how to follow what's popular, or what's not popular, because I realize what's not popular is the thing that I need. Hear me, they catapulted me. I've walked people through processes from Genesis to Revelation. And once they got to the apex of what they needed, now your services are no longer good. Let me tell you why. Because what's not popular is discipline. That's not popular. And hear me, when you are unpopular, you always go on the other side of the comma and outside the norm. You have to remind yourself of what's unpopular, hear me, for all required things to progress in the places that you need. You need to make sure that you are containing the seeds of vision, the seeds of opportunity, hear me, and those are the places that are really underrated. They're unrecognized and they're misunderstood. One of the ways to actually embrace the innovation and the change is to actually learn to appreciate the thinking that is different from your own. Are y'all listening to me? I got to get ready to leave y'all here. Expose yourself to people with different backgrounds, not always your ethnicity. You got to learn how to deal with some people that have some things that you're trying to accomplish and deal with. If you want to know anything about stocks, you got to deal with people that know about the market. If you want to save money, you got to deal with people that got CDs and stuff like that. I think they still got CDs. You want to deal with people, amen, that they got different levels and got different type of professional experience and know how personal interest. Some of you right now will never go skydiving because you got people next to you that scared of heights. I'm going to tell you something. Skydiving is one of the greatest things that you could ever do. You got to, I'm telling you, because I was in the Navy and because I dealt with it, I dealt with a lot of different things in the military. And one of the things I learned in the military, watch this here, is that I've always, hear me, I've always dared to be different. Amen. I've always dared to be different. And that was because I dealt with people that always kept me thinking on the other side of the box. And I'm telling you now, you're more likely to challenge your popular thinking and break new ground when you get with people, watch this here, that don't think the same way you think. You have to learn that you will fly right through smoke screens of the impossibilities when you learn how to deal with people who's just not smoking mirrors. You have to make sure that you go through your smoke screens the way that you should, so that way that you'll see that it wasn't that bad in the first place. All right, as I leave you on today, you have to continually question your own thinking. You have to say to yourself, the greatest temptation is to go back and repeat You hear what I said? Every day, you got to do things repetitiously. So that's a temptation that you should have, that you want to make sure that you are going through, making sure that you're working well, or working through the twitch, the snags, the little foxes, for those of you that want to be deep on here today. The greatest enemy of your tomorrow, hear me, the greatest enemy of your tomorrow's success is some things of today's failure. Okay, so you must make sure that when you grow into the place that you need, that you are just not satisfied with just solving one problem. You have to make sure that you're satisfied with the old problems and that you're finding new solutions in those problems. You have to make sure that you go back. You got to go back to make sure that you remember the last time you did something right. And watch this here. Don't stay because you heal one headache that you think that you're the next prophet. You got to know how to try new ways. You got to know how to go and try to make sure that you're adding to the body. You got to make sure that you're encouraging the body. One of the great things that I love about Matthew in his gospel, when he talked about the Great Commission, and I have this and I've adopted this: each one reach one, teach one, disciple one. A lot of us, we just want to train people and get notches on our belts like we've helped people get into the fold or get into the faith. But theoretically, your job is to train them and send them out. So it's just like I teach you about bread. He blessed it, he broke it, he gave it away. That's what Jesus did in this law of empowerment. He gave it to them. He gave them the empowerment, and then he sent them out. So some of us right now, we need to learn how to get under the feet of people. We need to make sure that we're thinking the right strategies, the right prisms. We got to make sure that we're dealing with the right substance to help people and meet people where they are. In every area of ministry, everybody's not the same. You got to know how to deal with some people. Some people's IEP ain't where they need to be. Y'all ain't saying nothing. That's why some people got to go into a different room. It's not that they're dumb. It just means that they're different. And because they're different and because they don't retain the way that you do, don't make them be slow. Sometimes your life is so fast that you need to slow down. Amen. And I dare you to start. I dare you to start today, because if I'm telling you, you cannot avoid taking risks to try new things. You have to take some risk. If you're going to be a good leader, you have to understand that, hey, that there's going to be some successes. There's going to be some failures. There's going to be some ups. There's going to be some downs. There's going to be some moments when you're saying to yourself, hey, look here, this ain't worth it. But can I tell you something? Nothing beats a failure but a try. And just because you started off, guess what? It ain't going to always be that great. People may buy it because you're new to it, but just stay there 30 to 60 days. Is there any pastors on here? When you said you were going to start a ministry, you had hundreds of people sitting up in there. I mean, they came, they shouted, they ran, they said, oh, this is the place for me to be. But 90 days later, you went from 120 down to 40. Let me tell you why. Because everybody will jump to anything that's hot and popping when you start. I want to know, is there any consistency in your life that where people will stand with you even when you go through the trenches? So you must make sure that you understand that when you go through things that are currently existing, they will resist the change. But understand something. Everybody gonna shift in this new season. And when you shift to this new place, God says when you attach your thinking, hear me, it's how you do it now to prepare you for your success for tomorrow.